Hi guys, welcome back to another Eternal Deck Tech. I am super excited to talk about my deck that I run in Throne quite a bit. This was originally made by Yeehan. I've tweaked it quite a bit, so I've nicknamed it Lucky's All-in-One. Guys, the only 4 units you're ever going to need in life is this Haven Augur, so let's talk about it. Your spells can't be negated or stopped by Aegis. When you play a spell, Haven Augur gets +1/+1. It can get big, but it can also prevent your spells from being negated or damage from going through. It is very important in this deck, and it is a new card from Separate Ways. Guys, we're going to talk about the 2 defiles in my deck. That's to get rid of some of that early aggro. It kills an enemy unit with cost 3 or less and then steals it and put it in your void. This is basically needed. I mean, it's just one of those cards. It's called Exploit. Choose a non-power card from your enemy player's hand. They discard it, then you plunder. Basically, if you pick a mana from your hand to transform, it becomes a treasure. If you pick a card, it becomes a mana. This is really good because if you get mana screwed, this can get you mana, as well as if you need to draw, this can get you a draw. And it also takes a card from an enemy's player's hand. What more could you want? Okay, guys, we're going to talk about why we need 4 of those. It's just broken. Guys, Saloon Massacre is a very good field wipe. It has each unit gets a -1/-1 this turn, and contract 3, they get -1/-4 this turn, and obviously the second number is their health. And you can contract that so you pay it next turn, so that's pretty dope. So turn 2, you can basically use it. Turn 3, you just pay for it on your turn 3. Guys, we run 3 of those bad boys, but we're going to go to Vara's Favor. Guys, Vara's Favor has lifesteal, deal 1 damage, draws a Shadow Sigil from your deck. This is really important for not only mana fixing, but sometimes those 1/1s are bad, and sometimes you just need to get Aegis off of a creature. Guys, we're going to talk about why we need 4 Wilderness Deliveries. This is our market. It's kind of like a sideboard. They get cards from this, and all of these cards are blue. We'll talk about those later. Guys, this is the main win con. It is called At Any Cost. It has Decay, Lifesteal, deal 3 damage. But if you get 12 influence sources, which is what this deck does fast, it deals 12 damage instead. So let's talk about the next card, why we have 4 of those, but we also have 4 Display of Survivals. Not only does this transform an enemy unit or a non-cursed relic into a 1/4 dinosaur, because relics are kind of broken in this game, you can also deal 5 damage to each unit played this turn. So if they spam out creatures, it's a good field wipe. But the main thing that also is you have a draw card and you gain Aegis, so you gain protection against yourself. Okay, guys, let's talk about the 4 Heavy Hails. This card is insane. It deals 2 damage each unit, and you can discard another blue card to increase the damage by 2 to make it 4 damage. And it ignores Aegis, which is protection. Guys, we're going to talk about our card draw. Wisdom Elder, 3 cost, draw 2, self-explanatory. Boundless Knowledge. For 4 costs, I have 3 of these in the deck. Draw 2 cards as Unleash. Unleash creates another copy. So if you have 8 mana, you can play this card for 2 and basically get 4 cards. Very dope. Now, guys, we're going to talk about Forbidden Research. You want to always play this kind of later after Wisdom and Boundless, because you always want more card draw than you want the influence usually. But sometimes you need to play this early for other cards. Draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards, but you gain 2 black influence, which is very important in this deck. But let's talk about another creature kill that's just equally as good. For 3 of them in my deck, Stealth Strike. It has Revenge, so basically it goes back in your deck, and when you draw it again, it plays for free. But it deals 2 damage to an enemy, and if it has 6 influence on the board, we have Deadly, which basically means it kills the creature. Now, guys, this is another important card for the deck. It is, I'm going to butcher this, but Prodigious Sorcery. If we have 3 of them in the deck, for 5 mana, you draw 2 cards that will deal damage, like Any Cost. Very broken. But here's another thing. If you kill one of your mana sources, it will also deal double damage. So instead of 12 damage, you're doing 24 damage to the face, and people only start with 25. So that's another thing to be kind of wary about. Another deck tech is we're going to go with the power source. We got Market Den. It can basically gain a blue. We have 2 of those because it is blue, and we're mostly a black deck for like our win cons, but it can make a blue. And as well as a black. We have 3 Sagil Sigils, so we can get them with Vara's Favor. We have a Mark of Sullivan. It starts as black, but can also get blue. Very good turn 1, actually. We got Shadow Symbol. It basically is depleted, but you gain 2 black mana. Crest of Cunning, which is really good. It has Scout, but we only want 2 of those because it does kind of play tapped. But Scout basically allows you to look at top of card and bottom it or top it. Very cool. This one's for card draw. It's depleted unless you have 3 blue or 3 black influence. If they have a if you have both, you draw a treasure trove, which is you pay 2 and draw a card. Very good. Obviously Felt Insignia is really good if you have any other factions in your deck, which I don't. It comes in tapped, so this always comes in normal. Then we also have this, which is game blue or black, depleted on your first 3 turns of the game. It's called Felon's Tomb. We run 4 of those because usually this is what I play on turn 3. Or turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, I mean. Okay, guys, let's talk about the market. We have Permafrost. This allows you to stun like big creatures, or creatures that are just chromatic, like have Warcry or any ability that only activates when they attack. This one's kind of like a gimmicky thing, but it does come in handy sometimes. Felrock's Choice. It can kill a cursed unit or draw its curses from the void. So you can put Permafrost on it and then kill it. But usually that's not what you want to do. Negate an enemy spell played on you or one of your units, steal it, and play it from the void. So you redirect that spell, which is really good. So, for example, I have Heaven Argos on the field. They go to kill it. I play Ferox Choice, and bam, it kills one of their creatures instead. Guys, we got Tomb of the Azure Mage. This is a really good card. It has Frenzy, draw a card, then discard a card. It's mainly for card draw, but I usually play it late game for its ultimate. Pay 8, deal 1 damage enemy for each spell in your void. Very good card to help out with that finisher in case for whatever reason they get rid of you at any cost. Guys, we have Mistveiled Dragon. This is a really cool card. Flying Aegis. You gain Aegis and summon. If you have Aegis, it gets +3/+3. But this is also a really cool card if you're playing against counter decks. This is called Scourge of Frostholm. It's an 8/8. Enemy players cannot play spells, guys. Now this deck does take some setup, so you're going to be dealing with a lot of aggro by wiping fields. So you definitely want to keep a hand that has like exploit, as well as maybe like some creature kill, as well as some other things. I'm going to be making a video of how the gameplay is, and then we're going to have a short that leads to this on other platforms. So, guys, hopefully you like this deck tech. Hopefully you come back and see more, and hopefully you watch my stream on Twitch, because I love you guys. Never forget that.